Welcome to the first episode of the Monday Edits. This is basically the idea. Every week I pick one photo, usually something that gives me, I don't know, a little bit of a challenge, and I edit everything from start to finish. And most of the time, it's going to be inside of Lightroom Mobile. But the real point, it's not even the app itself. The real point is the process, the decisions, and how far you can push a photo when you actually sit down and listen what it needs. I'm gonna be doing everything on. This is the Tab 11 Ultra. First thing I noticed, the pen. It's not great overall, and definitely not made it for photo editing or anything like that. I realized that my 11 bucks pen, it's way better, especially when you're refining mask and everything. It's way better, but I'm not gonna get too, I don't want to get too deep on this because I'm doing a separate video just talking about the Samsung Tab 11 Pro, 11 Ultra. Actually, I want to do a couple episodes, to test it out and everything and see how it actually responds. You got a lot of real estate here. It's the 14.6 inch, almost 15-inch display. It's an AMOLED display. It's supposed to be very accurate, AMOLED. So it's supposed to be very accurate with the black and the shadows and the breaks between the blacks and the gray. That's why I actually got it. I do a lot of editing on the go and Lightroom Mobile. The phone is just, you don't have a lot of real estate. So this is supposed to be the perfect spot. Still working on Lightroom Mobile, but with a massive real estate. Let's see how it goes. Today, it's not about the Samsung Tab 11 Ultra. It's, like I said, I'm doing a separate video for that. So yeah, for this first episode, that's the goal. That, take this photo, keep the mood, bring out what matters, and see how far I can push it without breaking what made it interesting in the first place. So let's get into it. And for this first one, I think I'm gonna pick this image because this is the classic image that can become very beautiful, or it can get wrong very easily. This photo, it's kind of dark, especially the trees silhouette that has a big dark shadows. But that doesn't have to be a bad thing. It's not in a bad way. It has mood already. So, you got the water, you got the trees, that little bird out there. And this whole scene feels quiet. It's almost like the photo, it's not supposed to be loud. Right away, it's I know this is not the kind of image I want to over edit. I don't want to force brightness into every corner just because I can. I want to keep the feeling, but still shape it into something strong. That's really always the balance. Not just fixing the file, but kind of protecting what made me stop and take the photo in the first place. And that's also kind of the point of this series. I use preset all the time, just like everybody else. I'm not one of those people pretending. I start every photo from zero and touch every slider like that somehow makes the edit more pure, more professional. No. Presets are useful. They save you a lot of time. They give you direction, and sometimes they help you see the image faster, but I never, and this is the whole point, I never treat a preset as a final answer. For me, a preset is just a base. It's a starting point. It's something that helps me begin the conversation with the photo, but not end it. I mean, sometimes I use my own preset. Sometimes I go back to Lightroom presets. Honestly, that's not. I don't know. That part doesn't even matter as much as people think. What matters, it's whatever that preset, it's helping me move towards what the photo it's asking for. I think that's the whole point. If it does, good. If it doesn't, I'll move on. I'm not loyal to one preset. I'm loyal to what the image it's telling me right away. And with this one, I already feel I need to be very careful because a preset here can easily push this into kind of like a fake landscape drama, crunchy shadows, weird color, or that kind of overcut HDR kind of look. That would kill the whole mood right away. I don't know what I'm really doing here, right here at the beginning. It's just reading the photo. It's I don't know where is the light actually leaving in this frame. What part do I want people to look at first? What should stay dark? What deserves a little bit more separation? How far can I go before the image just stop feeling honest? I don't know. That's the part that I feel like a lot of people skip. They just jump straight into solving. But sometimes the best first step it's just sitting here, right there, for some time and look at it. Just look at the photo. So I'm gonna try. I don't know, I feel like my Vivid Moody Winter could work, but see what I'm saying? It's already too punchy. That's not at all what I want. It's just too punchy. The highlighters on the sky are way overdue. Just right away, I can probably 25% maybe. Yeah, maybe about 23, 24%, that's fine. Just because I want to use the preset as a base, as a starting point. But I right away I can see this photo, it's telling me we have 3 layers, very visible layers here. So I'm thinking, and we need separation here. We definitely need separation here. Sky, this water area right in the middle, the circle of water right in the middle, that's gonna be another mask. And this water area and all this dark area here on the foreground, it's gonna be another mask, and I feel this is the way to go. So let's jump right into it. Mask, and we're gonna do a sky mask, and perfect. And now we're gonna do a second mask. If I do select background, let me select background. Yeah. Oh, this is actually good because for some reason, and it's probably a happy coincidence, but for some reason, Lightroom it's already giving me as a background everything, the tree, the shadows in the foreground, the water in the foreground. But it's not including this second area right here, right in the middle of water. So I gotta do a mask just for that area because I feel need to work with that kind of separation. Sky, then this water area, and then what Lightroom's already see as a background, the trees, this whole area of tree right here, and the whole water in the foreground. That's perfect. I can definitely work with that. And we're gonna do a second mask. Let's use just a brush. Probably I'm gonna include everything, all this tree and the water. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just gotta make sense. Don't go too far with the edges. Don't try to be too perfect. Sometimes that only hurts the mask. And it's pretty visible sometimes. You can right away see, okay, there's a mask here, there's a cutout here, and you don't want that. You definitely don't want that. So let me just fill out the mask properly, and okay, let's see what happened here. And I already have the third mask. So we have sky, beautiful, perfect. We have this foreground area with the water, the trees and everything, and we have this center area. But you know what, before I work individually with each mask, I want to go back and do some general lighting work, exposure and everything, because I have a lot of darkness on the trees and the foreground, especially the foreground, and see how far we can go. Perfect lighting. So if I go, there's some work already done because of the preset. The preset already applied some, some settings, but I feel, I don't know, let me see if no, this is, see what I'm saying? This is just too far. It's just, and I basically, as you can see, I'm basically just, I don't like it. I don't want it. The photo is already screaming, dude, you gotta take care of each layer individually. So that's what you gotta do. So don't force it and don't waste time, when you already see that something different is what is, what's going to work. So yeah, let me go back to the mask. And okay, we're gonna start with something simple, sky first. I usually like to work the sky first and then the foreground. That's how I usually do my editing process. When I have to work layers, when I have to work mask individually, special for a landscape photo like this one, I usually go sky, then middle ground, and then foreground. That's just me. Just, probably works for you, probably not. Just go ahead and leave me a comment and let me know, how do you split the process, Just go ahead and leave me a comment and let me know. Okay, so sky, I feel like it gotta go pretty simple. Maybe the highlight, we're gonna dump the highlight just a little bit, and right away, not a little bit, so like 70% probably, but I'm seeing something that I actually like. Since I'm taking down the highlight on the sky, I already have this golden line that separates, the trees and the sky. I have this golden, that golden line is popping up, and I actually like that. Not too much, but I definitely like it. So the other thing is, it's too blue. The sky, and the reflection, and we're gonna get there, the reflection on the water is just too blue. And I definitely want to take that down a notch. So I'm gonna jump to color, and it's probably just a temperature thing. If I just see what I'm saying, it's just perfect already. I'm just killing the blue a little bit, but automatically you get, the golden sunset. It's kind of like pushing the blue back and gaining ground. I really like that. Okay, perfect. I don't know, just a little bit, probably just a little bit of tint towards, not towards green, obviously. Yes, let me see. Yeah, okay, I can live with that. I like it. And that's it for now. I don't want to go too far. So I can live with that. So now let me go back here to the mask. If I switch to the foreground, we definitely got to take the shadows down a little bit. I need a little more detail on this foreground. So let me see. Okay, let's go back here and let's do a little bit of exposure. Okay, that's fine. I like it. Perfect. Okay, and see what I'm saying? I'm already. I just pushed the exposure a little bit up, and I'm already getting some details in the foreground. And there's some golden greeny here, right here in this corner, in this tree. I really like that. I love it. So now just let me just take the shadows down a little bit. And no, I feel like I feel like it went too far. It's just too much. No, we gotta go back here. It's just a tiny bit what I want. Okay. All right, that would be fine. So now let's do a touch of sharpness, because I want to make the water pop And some details here. Let me go to details, sharpness, probably just a little bit of sharpness here. Okay, okay. Yeah, I definitely want to see that kind of crispy, not too much, but the kind of crispy reflection from the water. And that's it for now. Let me switch. Let me just switch to the middle ground. Okay, no, that one. Okay, perfect. And I don't want to do much here. Just probably yeah, shadows just to make it match. Shadows down a little bit. Okay, let me see. Okay, that's good. And probably just a little bit of exposure, maybe. No, that doesn't work. See what I'm saying? That doesn't work at all. So foreground and what I call the middle ground water here with the tree, it has to be the same thing. I don't like the separation, definitely. So we delete that mask. We definitely are going to delete that mask, and we're gonna go ahead and okay, add to mask to the foreground. We're gonna use a brush, of course. We're gonna add everything, this water area, right to the foreground mask. Okay, I'm just painting here. I definitely still have a lot of shadows here in this tree area, so that's probably going to be fixed with a separate mask. Let's try to see what happened. Just a little bit, maybe from here, maybe from here. Okay, let me fill up. Let me fill up. Alrighty. So don't go too far with the edges. Don't forget that. You definitely don't want to make it too visible. Yeah, I just want to make it even. You know, I have a level of darkness in the foreground, and I wanna make it even. Let me just go ahead and give it a little exposure again. Just a little bit of exposure. Come on. What's going on here? Okay. Just a little bit, not too much. And shadows down again, same thing, shadows down just a little bit. And now I can see, now remember there was a lot of crane on those trees. Color, I gotta make the color pop a little bit, especially this golden reflections on the trees. So, you know what, before I go, let me just effects. Okay, let me try a little de-hands, or maybe I want to do it generally, you know, the whole photo, not only on one mask. Yeah, let's do that. Just get out of the mask, and we're probably very close. Well, let me go to effect and de-hands. Okay, just not too much, just a little bit. Let me see, make it pop just a little. Okay. All right. Perfect. I think that's about right. Okay, let me go back to the mask because I definitely want to go. I want to add a little bit more sharpness on the water. That, like I said before, I want to see that kind of reflection. That kind of reflection on the water. That's definitely something I want to see. So let me go back to the mask. What if I not independently, not by mask? Let me just try. That's the whole point here. You got to try. You got to make mistake. You got to try it again, and you got to realize what is working and what is not. What is definitely not. The image itself is going to tell you. That's the whole point. So let me go a little bit. Let me push the sharpness just a little bit. Go back here. Let me do a before and after. We're going to do a before and after and see how far we're going and what is working and what is definitely not. So, okay, that's not bad at all. I don't feel like it's bad at all. I don't know, I feel like I'm losing a lot of darkness in the foreground, and I'm gonna have to take it back because there's some sort of a, I don't know, some sort of the magic in that darkness that I want to keep. I don't want to kill that. I definitely don't want to kill that. What if I a little bit of texture? Okay, just a little bit to make the detail pop a little bit more. So I definitely don't want to keep the lens correction active because we're gonna lose the whole vignetting in the corners, and that's something I usually like. I know a lot of people right away keep the, keep enable the lens correction to make the photo more flat, to make the photo more even. That's fine, that works. A lot of time works for a lot of different photos. For this specific landscape photo, I don't like it. Honestly, I don't usually like it. That's just me. Let me see how it goes. Okay, see what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? It's just you get some sort of a vignette and vignetting in the corner. It automatically force you somehow to look to what matters, what actually matters most in the photos. The middle ground, the water, that tiny bird in the middle of the sky, and you don't see this kind of flat image corner to corner. I don't usually like that, like I said. So it works for me. Let me introduce a little more vignetting. Okay, let me try this again. Okay, it's kind of like putting all the elements together. So I'm bringing back the darkness in the foreground, something I definitely want, but I still have a lot of detail. I still have a lot of details. Let's do a before and after. Let's go ahead and do a before and after. See what I'm saying? It's just too dark, and I have a little more detail right now. This is kind of like the perception round. It's totally up to your perception. For me, I feel like I'm probably bringing a little more detail from the foreground. So let me just go back to the mask, and let's just do that and see how it goes. Okay. Okay, lighting, and just a little bit, just push the shadows down a little bit. Let me see. Okay, no, hold on. Too much. Just too much. I'll leave it like that. I'm gonna leave it like that. Let me see now, before and after. Yeah, this is definitely very close. Now, how far you want to go with the colors, how far you want to go with a very specific detail. For me, I feel like I can introduce a little more golden and this kind of orange latches I have here in the trees and the, in the sunset. Let's try that. Let me try that. Let me see what I can do here. So let me go to colors, jump to the wheels, and orange. Maybe, yeah. Let's see what happened here. Okay. It would be obviously, the huge orange, the hue. I'm probably just take it down a notch towards the, the more orange kind of feeling. Okay. And what if all right, let me just go back and the highlights, let me see. So plus 24. I don't feel like I need that plus 24 in the highlight. So it's just fine. Let me go back to colors again. I feel like the photo is asking for a little bit more of a warm feeling generally. Let me see what we can do. Okay. Alrighty, I might be too far. It might be too far. Let me see. Let me take it down again. See what I'm saying? It's just too blue. It's just too blue. Too cold. So if I push the temperature just a little bit, I wouldn't go farther than this. I feel like I don't know, I feel like this is the photo that I definitely want. So from here all the way to here, I feel this, I'm happy with what I already have. I don't know, maybe I want to bring a little more detail in this whole foreground right here. Take the shadows down a little bit more. At this point, it's totally up to you. It's your taste. What defines that final kind of details. For me, I feel like the photo it's already clicking with me. It's already complying with what I like, what I want. I don't know. I feel like with a photo like this one of the biggest mistakes would be trying to open everything up evenly, because then suddenly the foreground gets too moody. The trees lose their shape. The sky probably it's losing that quiet gradient, and the image start feeling flat, even though technically you yeah, you're gonna be revealing more detail, but you're just losing the essence of the photo. So what I was probably chasing here, it's I don't know, it's not maximum recovery, it's controlled recovery, you know. Enough to bring life into the water, enough to shape the foreground just a little bit, you know, enough to keep the scene readable, but still dark enough to feel like this moment actually felt to me when I took the photo. So even if I start with a preset, the real edit start after that. That's where I start watching the colors, the exposures, the blacks, the overall atmosphere, and then I start asking myself what needs to be pulled back, what needs to be refined, and what looks good and what it doesn't, you know? And very importantly, what looked good for, I don't know, a couple seconds, a couple minutes, and but it actually doesn't belong. And that's probably the whole point here. When you feel that something doesn't belong, you right away, it feels good, it looks good, but you right away, you got that feeling inside that it doesn't belong. It just take it away. Don't force it. Just take it away. That's the difference between using a preset as a shortcut and using it as a base, a starting point. The first one just end the process too early most of the time, and definitely you definitely don't want that. The second one starts the real work, and it actually contributes to what you want to get at with that photo. Just keep in mind, sometimes the photo doesn't need more color, it needs better colors. That's the difference. Sometimes one little change in temperature, like we did in the tint, like we did, or I don't know, the color mix, can suddenly make the whole thing click right away. You see, when I push the temperature just a little bit up, the photo suddenly, it just clicked with me. I automatically felt this is the photo I want. I'm right what I want it to be. And sometimes the reason an edit process feels off, it's not because the idea is wrong. It's not because the concept is wrong. It's just because that color, it's fighting the others, it's fighting the frame. That's why I always said, let the photo speak to you. Sit with the photo long enough, like we did, and eventually it'll start telling you what feels right and what feels forced. Masking is another part where a lot of people can go too hard really fast. Sometimes the problem is it's not even the mask itself. Yeah, sometimes the problem is that the mask is technically doing what you wanted, but the edges are too obvious. They're too sharp, too aggressive, too visible, and then the image start feeling edited instead of shape. And that's why I like to, you know, going back into the mask and you know, refining and softening, checking the transitions, making sure it actually, you know, it actually blends into the scene instead of just sitting on top of everything. A lot of time it's not doing more. It's making the edit just less noticeable. And if I get stuck, I stop. That's a real part of the process. If something stopped making sense, if I'm just moving slider and nothing feels right, I put the photo down, the tablet, computer, whatever, for, I don't know, for half an hour, and then I come back. Because sometimes the image didn't change, obviously, that your eyes changed, you know, your brain reset somehow. And now you can probably see that the maybe the exposure, I don't know, it's too much, maybe the color drifted too far, maybe the mask, it's heavier than it felt in the moment. What I can tell you is that rest matters a lot more than people like to admit. And honestly, that's kind of what I want for this series to be. Not just me editing photos, more like me showing you the actual thought process, throughout the entire thing. The good decisions, the wrong turns, the adjustments, the moments where something clicks, and I don't know, the moments where I realize something looked better 10 minutes ago, and I need to pull it back right away. Because editing is not about magically rescuing every image with one preset or one trick. It's about building the photo little by little until finally feels right, until finally clicks. All right, this turns out to be longer than I thought it would. We did a lot. We went through a lot in real time. Ooh. All right, this is Rember, and thank you for watching. Just go ahead and hit the like button. Just go ahead and subscribe if you want to. I'd really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. And I will see you. I will see you next Monday with another Monday edits, and we'll see what we're gonna be doing, what photo we're taking down the road. And you know what? At some point, maybe you can send me your photo. I'm gonna think about that. Maybe you can send me your photos, and we can do this whole I'm editing your photos kind of episode or whatever. I don't know. We'll figure it out, all right? Thank you.